So we here at the CBC were very excited when they announced that Thor: Love and Thunder was happening, and even more excited when they announced that Jane Foster was going to be becoming the mighty Thor. Because there's a lot to that storyline that lends itself to a very unique film for not just the MCU, but for all of comic books. But now it sounds like they're not even sure if they're going to adapt what makes it so unique. I don't know. I really don't know. So I think most of you know Jane Foster's basic story. When she became the mighty Thor, she did it because she has cancer, and this is very important to her character. The entire character arc and her turning into Thor and how this is handled and what happens with Thor Odin's son, right? It's a very important plot for both of these characters and how they end up where they currently are in Marvel Comics. Now, certainly, Marvel Studios is going to do what they always do and change some of the elements because they have to adapt it for the MCU and not directly take it from the comics. But here's what the actress herself, Natalie Portman, had to say in regards to adapting the cancer storyline. It's just very rare that these kinds of big entertainment films look at more serious real-life issues. I really don't know anything about it. I haven't seen anything, but I've heard the same rumors that you have. And it's exciting to think about. So again, they're still in the early stages of trying to figure out exactly what Thor is going to be. There's going to be plenty of revisions till the moment they get in front of the camera, and there's still going to be revisions once the camera is rolling. So there's still a little bit of a ways off before this film, is in that shooting stage. But her saying, that typically films don't do something like this is 100% factual. There's very few films you can look at that try to tackle real-world issues. Joker being one of them. For the MCU, you could say Captain America: The Winter Soldier. And there's a few other ones out there. I'm not going to list all of them off. But cancer is a pretty big one, right? And that's something that we haven't really seen explored in the superhero genre. And certainly, if you take her story and you transition that over, it's something very unique. We haven't seen that before. It's going to give a lot of publicity to them, which is, I think, ultimately what they're going to be getting out of this. Just like Captain Marvel did for International Women's Day upon release. Just like Black Panther. There's certain synergy you create with certain films. And I think for them, if they don't do it, it's a huge missed opportunity because it is something so unique. And if you take that away from Jane Foster, from Mighty Thor, then why even bother doing that character? I'll say it right now, if they remove that aspect of her character and that's not a huge plot element, this movie is straight up garbage already. We don't want that. We want to see that story represented because it's very important and it reflects on a real world issue and a cause and effect of everything that's going on, right? So I think there is something there, and I hope they do adapt it, because if they don't, it's going to be rather disappointing. Then why even bother bringing that character into the MCU if you're too afraid to pull that storyline, right? It just doesn't make sense to me. How do you guys feel about this? Do you think they're going to proceed with that storyline? And if not, what do you guys think about that approach to it? That could be vastly different than what the comics did. And as always, guys, thank you for watching. If you would like some extra content, we do offer it for members of the channel. Gaming podcasts, CW reviews, Watchmen reviews, other film reviews, and various other things. You can check it out by hitting that little join button down below.